So, you're a recent college graduate or young professional with an interest in small business ownership. There are currently more than 33 million small businesses in the United States, employing nearly 46% of Americans. The good news is there's room for more. My guest today is Melissa Draving, owner of Here For You Concierge. Melissa has a personal concierge business that she created in 2017, offering a variety of services, including small business and home organization assistance. Welcome to the Young Professionals Career Catalyst, Melissa.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you for having me.
Sure. So, before we talk about your business, let's talk about your career path. What did you envision doing when you were a young child?
My dad always says that I told him I wanted to be a movie star, not an actor, but a movie star. So
Okay.
I definitely wanted to be the star of the show.
Did you
And
ever do any acting in any theater or anything like that?
a little, yeah, I did theater in high school. We had two musicals that I did. Chorus. I was a chorus member, which
Mhm.
was still so much fun. But I did want to have a part, but I never got one. And then I did dance all through middle school and high school. I had to wait. My dance teacher said, you have to wait till seventh grade because she thought you would quit if you started too early. So
Oh, okay.
I love dance.
So you consider yourself a professional problem solver. What prompted you to start your concierge business?
I was definitely saw a need in my personal life. I had, my family had some health struggles, and I had to come in and do everything for my family, like, dishes, laundry, cleaning, all that stuff, prep, meal planning, grocery shopping. And I had 8 aunts and uncles that all chipped in a little bit, but I was thinking to myself, what would somebody do if they didn't have all this family around them? And so I started Googling and found personal concierge business. And it's actually a growing industry over the past 20 years. And each year has had growth. So I
Mhm.
um, was really interested. And I went to a big conference for personal concierge marketing. And I learned a lot there. So a lot of
Oh,
people that do it.
awesome. So, what steps did you take to get started with your concierge business?
So I did go to that the conference. It was put on by Kelly Schaefer, who is a personal concierge coach.
Okay.
And at the conference, we learned about marketing to your ideal clients, different strategies. She has like a whole marketing wheel, and also they helped me to come up with a name. Here Free Concierge is that it was Hereford. It was on my name badge was Hereford, Melissa Draving Hereford, because I didn't have a name yet. So I was looking at it in the mirror. I was like, Here for You Concierge. And
Oh,
I came up with a name after I was, came back from the bathroom with the name, and they're like, yay, yay. And we were all like, rah, rah. And they helped me register the domain name. And they said, select a date that's going to be your launch date.
mhm.
And so I did all that. And I was like, I have to wait because I'm getting married in the end of April. So I have to wait till June. So that was
Oh,
June 2017. So they were, and I also, I really soaked up every resource that was available to me. I watched YouTube videos. I did score mentoring. I've had several different score mentors. I've
mhm.
done mentors from the chamber. I read books, all kind. I listened to audiobooks. Zig Ziglar's Born to Win was a big one. And
Mhm.
um, yeah, so of course, I did the normal steps like registering your DBA name, getting an EIN number, creating a
Right.
website, uh, doing some social media, so that type of thing too. But the
Mhm.
biggest thing I did to get started was get a client. It was so a client just fell into my lap. Kind of somebody he had reached out to a different concierge company in Philadelphia, and they were totally booked up, and
Mhm.
they said, reach out to this girl. She's just starting her business, and he did. And, he was a great client and a friend for me. So I
Well,
tell
that's
my new business owners, the biggest thing you need right now is clients. You don't need a website. You don't need all this fancy emails. Like, you just need clients to get started.
right. Exactly. And then they'll be the biggest cheerleaders for you as you continue building the rest of the business. That's absolutely true. So, what's been the hardest part of being a small business owner?
I would say it's very lonely at times. You have struggles that friends and family who haven't been business owners don't necessarily understand,
Mhm.
and they're very proud of you, and they they think it's all gravy, but at the end, there's a lot of benefits that having a job offers that being a small business owner doesn't, like health insurance for the biggest one. We constantly, my small business owner friends are complaining about the costs they're paying for benefits for health insurance, dental insurance, retirement savings. These are things I all had when I worked at different corporations,
Sure.
and really took them for granted. So for a time, my husband carried all the benefits, and then he switched jobs, and so it's very tough paying for those things. It's a huge chunk of our budget.
Right.
But yeah, just learning all the things. There's a lot of different hard things. It's people, they think, oh, I have a side hustle. I'm gonna work towards quitting my full time career. But it's really not for everyone. Small business ownership, like, it's the safety and security of being in a job where you know what you'll make every month is it's very nice at the end of the day. But if
Right.
you're someone that can kind of handle risk, and I took like a somewhat mitigated risk where I think I worked about 30 hours a week from
Hmm.
4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Doing content review for a social networking company in the
Okay.
first year of my business. So, I worked 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then I would have 8 a.m. to, probably whenever I was tired, to go to networking, do the marketing, do all the legwork to start the business, go to my client. And then in about a year and a half in, I got a big client that was, um, you know, big enough for me to be able to quit that job. But I did take kind of a somewhat mitigated risk with this whole side hustle thing and built it up
Right.
over time. So I wasn't just leaping off of a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always a good approach to take is start it on the side while you have the security of regular income and benefits and everything. So, what are the advantages to having your own business?
Control over your schedule is probably the biggest one. Like,
Yes.
sometimes I've toyed with going back to having a job, like what job would I get and this and that. But
Mhm.
really, everyone always says, well, you're not going to have the ability to control your schedule. You're not going to have the flexibility. So right
Right.
now, I basically, book clients when within specific times, like usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then
Hmm.
I have overflow Monday and Friday. But I don't start my day until 10 a.m. because I know that I have a young child at home, and
Hmm.
it's very hard for me to get to one of my clients at 9 a.m. So I've already set that boundary. I don't
Right.
work past usually like 5 or 6 unless I'm doing a meeting from home, a virtual meeting with one of my non-local clients.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's
Having that ability to control when you work, how long you work, and when you close that laptop, that's a definite advantage.
Yeah, and saying no, being able to say no to projects that I don't necessarily want to take on or like doing. That's a huge benefit, and I have
Yes.
diversity in the clients that I have. So, like, if I have one client that is really not a good fit for me, personality
Mhm.
wise, or the type of work they want, I have other clients that I still have. So I could always fire the one, or if they
Mhm.
leave, if one client leaves, I can still have the income from the other ones. So it's with a job, I would always have these personality struggles with my bosses because I wanted to lead, and they they weren't all on board with that. I wanted to change things and be creative, and a lot of them were not on board with that either. They wanted workers in a box,
Right.
and so I couldn't just, go to another boss. But with this
Mhm.
business, I'm able to go, replace that income with another client. And then I have enough different clients that, it's not a big hit.
Right. Right. So, what are some of the more interesting projects and services you've helped other people with?
Well, one of the first ones was I had a client and he was putting on a big conference. We would work on editing his material and his handouts, and we finished editing it, and he was like, "Oh, great." I was at his house. "Oh, great. Okay, great." I was like, "Well, what needs to happen next with this? Like, we're all done, but like, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, whatever." And then I get a call from him. He's in Florida. He's like, "You remember that thing we did? Well, I forgot to get it printed out and make copies, and now I'm in Florida. Can you arrange the copies to be made here for me?" And of
Mhm.
course, he needed them on like a Sunday, and it was like calling all the different UPS and FedEx locations. But finally, I was able to coordinate with the concierge at the hotel where he was holding the conference, and they said, "We have a laser printer. We'll print them out and have them at market cost, and they'll be waiting at the front desk for him." So that was
Oh.
one. Yeah. Um, Another time I got a email in the middle of the night. I woke up to an email from a woman. She said, "I have, an elderly father in nursing home, and it's his birthday. I want to have him get his hair cut there in the nursing home. I think that would
Mhm.
be nice for him." So I was available that day. So I did all the, I posted on Facebook, who does this, and of course, it's that day, so not everybody's available, so you have to call through everybody. And then finally, I found this woman, Tammy. She was able to go in the nursing home, cut his hair, and send a picture so that the daughter could see. And then she just paid me. I paid Tammy, so it worked out great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
A nice thing to do for someone unexpected. I'm sure he was really
Well,
surprised.
you should have seen the smile on his face. He was beaming.
Aw. So, if someone wants to start a small business, what informational resources do you recommend they start with?
Um, well, SCORE does like a whole class on starting a business, which is more like the brass tacks, like, where, like I said, your EIN number, your DBA, all, setting up an LLC. So I think it's over several weeks, which is great. You do need that information. But
Yes.
if you're going to be successful in a small business, you really need to focus on marketing and, getting clients. So, however, with a service business, it's going to be different. I've always had a service business, so that's where I really excel with marketing. Product-based businesses are kind of a whole different world. It's easier to start a service business than it is a product business. But
Mhm.
YouTube for marketing, just learning how to do email marketing and like a little bit of social media, but um, I would just really hit the road with networking and go meet people, shake hands, tell them what you do in person. You
Right.
can do it on Zoom if you're not able to get out, but
Mhm.
um, I would learn how to do networking. And then I have a really good book I like called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Whenever I'm feeling demotivated, I listen to that book.
Mhm.
Any kind of books at your public library or on Libby, the library's ebooks
Mhm.
and audiobooks app. I would just try to keep reading and keep learning information because we have more access to information than anybody has in the past history of the whole world. So it's
Yes.
easier now to start a business than it ever has been. So just keep, soak it up like a sponge. I mean, there's nothing specific
Mhm.
besides, like I said, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, build your confidence up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We do have a lot of resources, which is one nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, you have written a book. Tell us
Yeah.
what it's called and where we can find it.
My book is called Finding Freedom from Clutter, and it is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And
Okay.
also, you can purchase it directly through me, and I'll send you a copy in the mail. It's still, you know, I just got the first copy, so I'm very excited about that. And I worked with Jennifer Bright. She was a guest here on your podcast, so
Yes.
that was such a big help. I couldn't have done it without her. She really pushed me up the hill and helped me every step of the way. So she's just wonderful. Her and I have like similar personalities. So we get together. Whoop, 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 whoop. We're like 10 million miles a minute. Um,
Right.
so yeah, the book has been really big boost to my confidence, and also it was a huge goal that I had for many years. I remember I did vision boarding when I first started my business. I had like 5-10 year goals, which I know that we're going to talk about that, but one of them was to write a book, and I had started, and Jennifer just helped me take everything that I had, all the raw ingredients, the flour and the sugar, and make a beautiful cake out of it. So
Oh, that's
um,
wonderful.
I owe it a lot to her with that.
And what's it called again?
It's called Finding Freedom from Clutter.
Okay.
And yeah, it's on Amazon. So if you
Okay.
buy it on Amazon, leave me a review, because that's very important with your book and your SEO for it. So Jennifer's
Yes.
teaching me all these things.
That's awesome. So what do you think you'll be doing in 5 or 10 years from now? Will you still be
Well,
the owner of Here For You Concierge?
I hope so. Yeah, definitely. I'm right now reading the E Myth, and he says that most businesses that survive the first couple years then close in the second, in the up to 10 years. So I'm right now, according to E Myth, I'm in the adolescent phase of my business. So I'm working on growing and putting in systems that will allow the business to operate without me being the technician doing all
Mhm.
the work. So um, I've been working with assistants and team members for a while, but I really am trying to grow, and I'm working with a great coach that's helping me to put all those systems in place and lay out a plan for the next couple of years to have growth and income growth, and that would be wonderful to really survive and have a thriving business, not be a statistic. So I want
Right.
to keep doing the right things and mature the business so that it sticks around for a long time, because we can have a bigger impact and help more people have less stress. But also, I would love to have another business too. I've always wanted to have like a coffee shop. So, that's my
Wow.
little. I love coffee. So I worked in many coffee shops, and I don't know, I love the customers, and I
Mhm.
love brightening people's day. So
Oh,
coffee is one of the ways you can brighten someone's day and have daily interactions with people and get to
right.
know them, and provide good customer service. So that's kind of
Okay.
my little secret.
That sounds like a fun venture to start. So, what's one piece of advice you would give today's young professional or recent college graduate to help them launch their career or their business?
um, well, I would tell them to go learn to do public speaking, because
Okay.
public speaking will take you so far. And I used to read The Art of War, and in The Art of War, they tell you go where the army is not. So go, you have all this competition over here. Well, public speaking will allow you to go where other people are not. So many people are afraid to do public speaking. I hear it all the time.
Yes.
And Zig Ziglar says when you're speaking in public, people give you credit for an intelligence you don't necessarily possess. So people will think you're smarter, and it will unlock more opportunities. If you want to become an executive, you're going to be speaking in public. If you want to be an author, speaking in public allows you to get get your message out to more people. And in marketing a small business, when you're able to go do public speaking, you're able to take to to give information to so many more people at one time versus
Yes.
going and having one-on-ones or direct messaging. When you're public speaking, you're basically 10xing your results because you're speaking to 10 times as many people versus just speaking to one.
True.
And um, it really will provide a lot of opportunities. So I was in Toastmasters in my 20s, and I was, I went through the whole program, and I made a lot of great friends there. And I went I think it was every week. Um, and I think that public speaking will take you a lot further in any career or any small business. So I'm really passionate about that.
I
If
agree.
I
I think
wasn't a public speaker, I wouldn't be here today. So, yeah,
right. That's true. You wouldn't feel comfortable doing this.
so it's so scary.
So, how and where can our listeners find you, Melissa?
Social media. They can go on to Instagram and Facebook under Here For You Concierge. And you
Okay.
can also connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Melissa Draving, and it's on the screen. So I'd be happy to connect with your listeners and give out tips. I'm definitely, someone that likes to build up other people. So, um, I have a desire to help other people succeed. So,
Okay.
feel free to find me and reach out, and I'd love to connect.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much for being my guest today, Melissa. To my
Yeah.
audience, if you're interested in small business ownership, look for a small business development center in your area. And secondly, as Melissa mentioned, contact SCORE. They have retired business executives that are happy to help you and mentor you as you start your small business. And also for our next episode, tune in Tuesday, April 16th for the next episode of the Young Professionals Career Catalyst. Thanks so much, Melissa.